What is going on, my beautiful people? How you all doing? I hope you're having an amazing day, and in today's video we are going to be taking a look at official One UI Android 9.py update for the Galaxy J8. Now I completely forgot that this phone actually existed because no one actually bought it, but finally Samsung has released the One UI update for it. Well, there are many more Samsung phones to go for the One UI, like the J4, J6, and the last one that I thought that actually was the J phone was the J6 Plus, but no, there is a J8 too. Those phones are still remaining, so as no one bought this phone, Samsung has just released the One UI update. And yeah, I might consider a early Indian build cause there are some bugs over here which is just weird for official build, but as you can see over here, this completely looks like a Galaxy S10 or the A series phone cause yep, this is an early build, so if you haven't actually resetted your phone after the update, you should be getting this home screen. You should be getting your normal home screen, but of course you can get this by arranging it properly. Again, as I told you guys before, this is an early Indian build, so some features might be here and there, but let's just take a look. So this is your home screen. Again, this is the One UI which you would be getting, so completely the same what you will get after the update reaches to your country. And this is Galaxy J8 10G, which is the Indian model. So again, if you go to the left, you have Bixby Home over here. Again, pretty great, and this phone is surprisingly responsive. But then I looked up the specs cause I didn't know anything about this phone. I just knew that Indian Pi was available for it and I just flashed it, and that's because of its being 720p display and a Snapdragon 450. Now Snapdragon 450 just really helps in eliminating all the little lags overall UI. So for example, Galaxy A7 was the worst optimized despite of getting a beta One UI, which is just weird. Again, Galaxy A9 is one of my favorite phones running right now, One UI, and this might be the second one cause it's just so fluid. Like the Snapdragon 450 just adds up so much things, like there is no scroll lags and stuff, which is again pretty great. And if you go to the Bixby Home, it's just so butter smooth. I don't know what I did there, but it's just so butter smooth. Like you can watch this video in 1080 60 fps, and this is just amazing. But then again, it's a 720p display, and the cost of this thing, it's like twice of Redmi 5 which it was launched with, which I don't know what Samsung is doing. But here are all of your apps. As you can see, the UI is much more plainer than before, and the apps open at the half of your screen. So One UI is all about one-handed usage. Then again, you can just go to the keypad over here. Again, the UI is much plainer and whiter than before. Again, some of the apps just take awkwardly long time to load sometimes, which would be just a bug, but the performance is pretty great over here. Again, this is the calendar apps. Looks pretty clean than before. As you can see, the UI is much more easier to look at. Then you have a gallery app over here. As you can see, pretty great. Like the optimization over here is nice, or it might be just the Snapdragon processor. Then again, you have a recycle bin over here. You can turn it on and it saves your photos and videos for at least 15 days, which is again great. I wanted this feature for the longest time, but as people now know it, it doesn't really matter. Then again, you have camera, which we'll take a look at later on. Then you have internet beta, which I have installed. You have game launcher, which is pretty much the same as before. You can just enable it right over here. You get pretty much normal stuff like the performance adjustments and nothing else. You don't get game tools as to my knowledge. Then you have my files over here, much more flatter UI than before. Again, One UI style. But let's just hop onto the camera. Now the camera app is completely different over here. As you can see, gets like a Pixel 3 like style. So for example, you can scroll between the modes as before, but now it gets like a Pixel 3 UI. You also have night mode over here. No modes are removed over here, unlike the Galaxy A9 or any kind of another phone. Best example would be the Galaxy 8. Nothing has been removed, and scrolling through it is just so smooth. Like there is no lag at all. It's like wow. None of the actual features of the camera have been enhanced or changed at all. Like it's just pretty much the same. You get 1080p recording everywhere, as this is a 720p display. No one even cares. You don't get Bixby vision and stuff. You just get AR emoji over here, which was at the scrolling tab. Zoom feature removed over here cause some people were just getting annoyed by it, which I don't actually like personally. Then again, going back, let's just talk about the UI. You have a very beautiful UI over here. One UI is just one of the best softwares by Samsung in its time. Then again, you have a volume panel over here. You can of course enhance it, and then again, it doesn't lag at all as before. You have volume keys as media and stuff just as before. Then again, if you go to the quick settings panel, this is it. It opens up completely. Then again, all the toggles are preserved over here. Nothing has been removed. You get extra over here is kids mode and night mode. We will talk about later on about the night mode, but kids home is just basically the kids mode that you download from the Galaxy apps. Now it's embedded inside the system. You also have power mode over here. There is no performance mode, of course. You also have ultra data saving, as this is the Indian version. Then then going to the recent apps panel, you can now scroll around over here rather than being a 3D stack. You also get your recently used apps over here. You can just turn them off over here because it gets pretty annoyed because it just never works the perfect. You can tap the app info over here for more options like app info, split screen pop-up view lock this app, which is now a two-step thingy rather than just holding your recent apps key. As you can see, just does nothing, and there is no even toggle for it. Multi-window is just completely removed from the settings. Then again, if you go to the clock app, which I just completely forgot, now you can even enable an alarm and it will tell you how much time has been left to ring the alarm, which is pretty great optimization by Samsung. But I really miss the swipe based UI over here. I don't know why Samsung removed it. But then let's just hop on to the settings app. Now the settings app, again, pretty much a mega overhaul over here. Going through the settings, nothing much for the connections, notifications or the sound and vibrations. Pretty much everything is just the same, but separate app sound is a bit missing over here, so that can be added later on. Then again, notifications, now you get status bar over here rather than being inside the display, which is again great suits over here. Then going to the display, you no longer get outdoor mode over here, which is again could be added later on. It's just missing over here. There is nothing even in the complete brightness or the adaptive brightness. You can't even reset the usage patterns, which is a bit weird. You also get blue light filter over here and the night mode. Now night mode is a complete night mode over here. There is no gradient at the bottom and stuff. So yep, you can actually save about around 1 hour battery life with this thing, as I've experienced with my Galaxy S10 Plus, and it's pretty great. Like the complete UI just turns to black, as you can see, just complete darkness, and it saves a lot of battery. Then again, going back to the screen mode, you get all new options over here. Again, a bit more advanced UI. This might help to some of you guys who have bit of a tint on their display. Then again, font and size, nothing much over there. Scrolling down, nothing much. You don't get accidental touch and stuff over here. But if you go to the navigation bar, the colors have been completely removed, which was a very past and old thing. But now you get complete full screen gestures from the One UI. You also get hands for it. You can also turn them off. And it's basically your buttons turned into swipe up. Yep, recent apps over here. I don't know why it just glitched out. Swipe up to home and swipe up for back. Then again, going to the wallpapers and themes, nothing much. You get lock screen. And now you have only feature which I have personally never seen in any kind of phone, like not even JA or S series, which would be lock screen stories. Now I seriously don't know why this doesn't work over here. Maybe I have to just put a pattern lock or something, but if you want to know that, you can just always go over here, go to the wallpapers, and if you just select any kind of wallpaper through over here, now you can choose between wallpaper and stories which are powered by Glance. So again, Xiaomi uses this board as to advertise, but Samsung is actually just giving some quotes over here and just random wallpapers, as you can see. Not even quotes, it just gives a bit of info, like butterflies are some of the world's most beautiful creatures or something. Then again, you have clock styles over here, which again you get only one clock style Neo, which is the One UI standard one. You can always adjust the colors for it. Going to the notifications, for view icons only, you get a all new UI. So for example, this is much more cleaner and it just doesn't expose your notifications directly. Then this is the detailed one, where you can of course adjust the transparency and stuff, which is pretty great. Then again, going back, biometrics and security, nothing much over here. You normally get your face recognition, fingerprint scanning, nothing new over here. April 1 security patch, so the latest and greatest. And earlier, even on Oreo, it was on February, which is pretty great. Samsung is keeping up with it, even though this phone like sold like nothing. Again, scrolling down to the advanced features, you get floating video messenger just removed over here. Basically, if you enable it, you will get a floating window for your messenger apps like Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp. Now it's completely removed over here, might add later on. But seriously, this would be the second phone that I've seen this feature, like literally never seen on any kind of S or Note series phones, which probably deserve this feature because they have a bigger display. You can reduce animations over here, which basically eliminates all the animations throughout the UI. For example, if you go to the Messages app, it I don't know why Messages just takes so long. It's not that another app's Messages app just takes so long. Even if I just open phone, like it switched out completely, very quick. Then again, if you just go to the clock app, just tap it, it's so quick. Like even like let's just try radio. It opened pretty quick. I don't know what's wrong with the Messages app. Pretty much nothing over here. If you go to the motions and gestures, there is no lift to wake up over here, which is allowed on any kind of Samsung phone through the One UI, but Galaxy A7 and J8 doesn't get it. Let's just say we got the J4 and the J6 gets. But then again, fingerprints, gestures and stuff, nothing new over here at all. If you go to the device care, you get your normal options over here, as you can see, with the ultra data saving being the Indian model. But if you go to the battery, you have power modes over here. Of course, you can go to the battery usage. Pretty handy stuff. They are much more detailed thanks to Android Pie. But if you go to the settings, you get adaptive battery from Android Pie, which does really help preserving the battery. You have auto disable unused apps, optimized settings, which is pretty great over here. It optimizes brightness, screen time and media volume according to your usage, which is great. It does really work. Then again, going down, nothing much. Oh, here you can go to general management and input for discovering your keyboard. Now keyboard is again nothing special. Over here you get text editing and modes new. Now in modes you can add always, of course, the floating window, one-handed and the normal one. In text editing, it just basically adds up a cursor for if you're typing in AC and stuff, like who even like uses it, but you surely get that. And nothing much over here, you normally get your text replace and stuff as before. You have One UI version 1.0, Android version 9, and then again the Android version base is PPR1, which is the One UI based on. Again, this is the first build of Android Pie, so it does have some of the bugs. Even the same issue with my Galaxy S10. Like, I seriously don't know, many of the companies have shifted to PKQ1, which is not even the latest one, but the second last version of Android Pie, and it's much more better. Like, even Xiaomi does it. I seriously don't know what's the deal with Samsung, but here you go, Android 9.0 Pie, completely smooth. And yeah guys, that's pretty much it for the full UI update of the Galaxy J8 2018. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you like this video, please drop a like and share it with your friends and tech groups. It would be a lot of help. Again, a huge thanks to Samsung Smart Cafe in Alibag for providing me this unit so that I can bring this review to you guys. If you want any kind of help regarding to Samsung accessories and phone, just hit them up, and see you guys in the next one. Peace.